Guys, welcome to the channel. Dude, you know what? It's Memorial Day weekend, so I'm not gonna rant, but I had to remake this whole entire video because I actually put my cards the orientation I wasn't supposed to, because for the purposes of this video, I had to put this Rhizal detonator, which, by the way, yes, that's tree dragon, or what they're called, 2 wyvern busters and 2 call up searchpits. And yes, Rhizal detonator. I do not own any Rhizal cards. I own this because of Metal Tronos. But guys, I'm not cringe. I actually don't own any Rhizal cards. But there's a quick segue into that. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video. Okay, let me speak a little about this. A lot of people in the comments and Reddit, White Forest groups have been talking about the things you should or shouldn't run in White Forest, and there's been a lot of discussions about the non-engine things you should run in the extra deck, the engine cards you should put not and should, like woes, and a lot of different variation of cards. Fiendsmith is the most important example. But I think the people who are most struggling about is how to actually play into a board. Because let's be honest, dude, like circle jerking, pause, by the way, with White Forest, when you're going first, is going to be generally easy, because you're always gonna, guys, don't even though White Forest doesn't have the highest representation or isn't the best deck, don't get this wrong. White Forest still has the best strong or the best end board of any of these decks. Problem is, Droll just fucks with it. Nibiru is like one of those cards that if you do it correctly, it fucks up the deck because of how you have to play the deck now. So a lot of people are just trying to struggle which order of the cards you activate first, and this is very important. And I'm not gonna show you. I'm not gonna give you a deck profile, because this is why it's so important to run the deck how most people are running it right now, aka with Foolish Boreal Guts, because it gives you so much coverage for going first against like cards like Droll, but for going seconds to beat cards like Detonator, right? So this is going to be like a tutorial of how to break your opponent's board, and I chose Rhizal Detonator because it's going to be the most meta relevant card you're going to be actually dealing with the most, and it's going to force you to actually play your cards correctly, which is what you want to try to, you know, do well, right? Against you could also debate the Mitsurugi ritual is very good, which of course, but for all intents and purposes I'm just using Detonator because they're basically the same interaction. They pop your board. Sure, the Mitsurugi ritual makes you discard a card, but you're just, this has I think the high ceiling of annoyance to deal with, even when you hand trap your opponent and you're like have to play with 4 to 3 cards depending on how good you hit your opponent. And Malice, but Malice just really varies, because if you like small examples, this is like the most exaggerated example. If you Lancia them, you're just not gonna go into an actual board. Depends on the build, of course, but we're just gonna deal with Rhizal Detonator in this video. This is gonna help you guys a lot to understand what you need to do to break this board, especially with engine. And you're gonna see, of course, during the testing on this video, you're gonna see how important is the card choices that you make to deal with cards like these going second. And before I start, a huge shout out to the community, Yu-Gi-Oh community, because you guys comment on my videos, and bro, the White Forest group is one of like the best groups I've been in, especially in Facebook and in Reddit, because y'all are dedicated to this deck. I mean, this deck is fun, don't get me wrong, this is like the funnest deck of the format. And yeah, a few things in OCG, this deck is still good. Mind you, like I said, this deck puts out the craziest boards, even the OCG. And another segue. This is why you should not run Fiendsmith. I think we got to take a little of how do I say, insight, especially with hindsight, of how the meta has been already over their state, like already been played at during Duelist Alliance format. They just decided to opt out with the Fiendsmith engine completely, especially because I guess Fiendsmith has a lot of problems, and in the new format, Droll is still going to be super good, especially against not K9. K9, the other deck, Vanquish Soul. So Droll is going to be very permanent. And I think they just realized Fiendsmith, Engraver, just discarding Fiendsmith, Engraver puts you in a bad spot. Even you run the quick play. Like, the engine doesn't bridge as good as you want to. Again, Fiendsmith is not a bad engine, but they have Lacrima over there, and they still decide not to run it. So what I'm trying to say is, like, guys, test out the pure version, because I do think it's the best version. And I think a lot of people, especially the top, I think out of 10 of them, 2 have Fiendsmith within the actual engine. So with no further ado, let's get this started. So the way we're going to be doing this, 2 things. This detonator, I'm going second, of course, so it's 6 cards hand. And I'm going to discard any hand traps that I draw into. But just for the fact that this detonator did summon, if I draw any Perulias or Mocharmies, example, during my 5 card hand, I'm going to discard them and cycle a card, because we're just going to go into the assumption that they just summoned this detonator, right? And the other hand traps I'm going to discard, right? And then, like I mentioned, this detonator is going to pop immediately after I try resolving a card, because I guess just for this thing doesn't have a mind of its own, just so you know that this shit is annoying. But very little situation in which detonator is not going to pop immediately. Let's say your opponent is scared of talents or something, considering this Rizal detonator is alone on the board. But anyways, let's get this started. I'm going to shuffle my deck here. I was doing a couple of test hands with my orientation being fucked up. Dude, it was kind of fucked up because it had very good examples where I just drew White Forest hands, which is what I want you guys to understand, how to break boards. That's the best example. But whatever. Let's just get this started. Put my deck here. We're going to draw our 5 card hand. And as first glance, we already see Foolish Burial Goods. And you're going to see why this card is like super, super good in this deck. Because it not only works as non-engine, it also works as engines for you to get it into your board or into your White Forest cards. So like I said, we're going to discard this Perulia to cycle a card. And we draw Impermanence. Let's say we solve that Impermanence too while drawing Perulia. Okay, then we're going to draw our card for turn, and this is where we're going to start interacting with this board. This is such a nasty hand, by the way. First of all, I don't want it. This is, when you're going first, these 2 cards are insane. I'm not going to do this because I just want to resolve this Foolish Burial Guts right away. So we're going to activate Foolish Burial Guts. Guys, this hand is insane. So this is what you're looking at. By the way, that's a real scenario. Like, if you Perulia Rizal, they probably won't end up giving you too much cards, and we'll end up like on dual drive red. Does detonator, but I did have that Emperor for dual drive, so them having just detonator makes this hand like or makes their field make much more sense. Dude, shout out to the fucking baby dragons. I'm carrying that detonator from popping. So yeah, you're doing a dump black hole slot. This is why this card is crazy. Like, it's almost like Salesman, but it's actually good, bro. Salesman is such a copium card. Not for other decks. For other decks, it might be actually decent, but you playing White Forest and Foolish Burial Goods being versatile in your deck, you just play this every other day. So we're gonna do this call detonator, right? And we're just already playing. We're gonna do Wanted and Chain Depters. Whatever. This is like already full combo. We're gonna summon the negate here. We don't actually need to go into the Azamina. We already have full combo here. So we're just gonna, this is always correct, because say your opponent does have hand traps, so we're always gonna do this. Let me cut the glare a little bit less here. Okay, that's better. That's Ilya Silva, by the way. So we're gonna summon Ilya Silva here. Let me put these materials sideways just so we know what we're dealing up against. Even though that guy is not having a good time right now. So we summoned Ilya Silva with the Depters, and we're going to get Diabell Star right here, which is perfect. Sorry, they were fucking skipping steps searching that card. Diabell Star. I'm going to talk a little bit about the ratios of the cards too, because I guess that's really important. I only played 1 Diabell Star. That's why I'm fucking having trouble finding her. Just because of the fact that she's really subpar going into boards, but she's really good going first because she doesn't play into Nibiru. I'm gonna activate this. Just know You could have. Let me check something. Yeah, you could have activated Filia Diabel first, but just for all intents and purposes, if your opponent does have hand traps, I'm just hard summoning this. The reason I'm saying that because you don't need to search this now. You can just straight up search Vengeance, right? And we're already summoned the dark that we're gonna summon out of the extra deck. So you don't need to actually cycle the White Forest monster. It really doesn't matter. The order of these cards really doesn't matter because you could actually just search this and this will end up summoning this. Let's just do it like that, just for the purposes of you guys knowing what full combo is, because I know a lot of people just want to know the highest ceiling of the deck as possible. So yeah, we're gonna end up searching this. And we're gonna go into Sylvie, because even though we already have Ilias Silva to play against Nibiru, you always try to not overcommit into cards. You like keeping cards in your deck that are good, by the way. That's good Yu-Gi-Ohs. So yeah, we're gonna go Sylvie here. We could go a Stellar to pitch this, but we're gonna want to like keep that field. You always want to keep that field for this, knowing that you already have it in your hand. In case there's some interaction your opponent does, like with hand traps, like Valor, for example, that cuts you out of the engine completely. Like this is this is good Yu-Gi-Oh! Is what I'm trying to say. If you don't have this in your hand, why would you play cost for a Stellar and bait risk Valor plus Nibiru, right? You always just search Sylvie, which is always just gonna full combo alone, is what I'm trying to say. This is gonna search us. This is like completely playing into hand traps. See how I'm always keeping this field alive to pitch off, right? So never try to resolve the Stellar, like I said, because let's say this gets ashed. Maybe you could continue playing here, but you don't have any spell or trap cards. You can keep dumping Diabell Star, but again, that's bad Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's do this correctly. We're gonna search the Azamina. Gonna special summon her. And this is the correct line, because this is gonna search us 2 spell or traps cards to play with. So we're gonna summon the Arceala here. It's gonna trigger both this and this, right? So we're going to send this as cost for Arceala, and the Azamina is gonna search too. So we're gonna search this, and we're going to. I don't play woes, by the way. That is a small disclaimer. And we're going to search. I'm thinking of the line. Okay, we're going to search LZ here. It doesn't matter too much, but let's say you want complete follow-up here. This is what you're going to search. The reason why searching it in this sequence is important is because we're going to special summon this, send this, and we'll still have a spell or trap to send in case anything happens. So we're going to summon the Diabell Star White Forest right here. The Diabell's White Forest right here. And get this Imperm back. I mean, we're gonna need the Imperm to summon, so we can actually search this Scepters, which is actually really good, actually, now that I think about it, because you can play on your opponent's turn with Mo Regina. So yeah, I think that's good. Okay, that's perfect. Perfect. Ideally, yeah, because you could have sent this first with the Diabell's White Witch if you wanted to keep the quick play, but this is gonna fusion summon the same way without paying costs. Because if you guys see, I don't have this Deception cycled right now because the hand was not weird, but it was a little weird if I wanted to optimally play against hand traps. So we're gonna send this to special summon this. This is gonna activate so you can dump the Diabell Star. And since we have resolved an Imperm, this is why Imperm is such a decent card in this deck. You're gonna special summon here by banishing the Imperm and the goods. There you go. You have already full combo there. Yeah, and you can have this for follow up, and you already locked this out of the extra deck. But I guess this you can substitute the Diabell Star by pitching this, because you can revive this with Mo Regina. Don't ever have like Bat Regress shuffling this into the graveyard. You can but our board is full. I was gonna say do Sylvie, but you can't. You gotta do this first, because this way, if, let's say your opponent survives, you can keep the Book of Moon. Right, so you would have Depthers, the Book of Moon, Diabell Star protection. This is gonna pop. This is already a game, by the way. It's just in a weird scenario, your opponent has Battle Fear. I'm just trying to give you guys like the insight of having a full board and not just trying to like kill them. If you like try to play through the clap back. So yeah, and of course, if you keep this and you don't try to resolve this, you can Debtors both Vengeance. Let's say after you pop with Vengeance, you can go Debtors, send these two to go into Saint Azamina. That's already gonna fuck at your opponent. Let's just put that there so we have space so you can see. And Mo Regina is gonna activate to revive your Diabells. There you go. And then if you do need extra deck space, you can just send this to the graveyard. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, good. Okay, we're going to reshuffle here. We're gonna reshuffle here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, that hand was actually pretty good. I wouldn't, like I said, when I was playtesting this before I made the fuck up, I had a hand where I had the chance to break this detonator with just engine. It was super clean. Even if your detonator has 3 materials, just with engine alone, you can like bait most of these. So let's shuffle back again and try to play with a new hand. Just a second here to check everything is okay. Guys, we're doing it live, by the way. Okay, shuffle. Let's see what we got here. Shuffle, we'll give our deck a one final cut. There we go. This is what we draw again. Hand traps are getting discarded, more charmies are getting cycled. When it's sure, that's a fucking pain in the ass drawing. It's a you're gonna see how good the card choices like Foolish Boreal Goods are, and just keep cards like Imperm for the clapback. You guys are just gonna see. This hand, it's really this is why I run Silvera. Silvera's like really good into breaking boards. This is just a tech choice. This was just Woe's spot. I always say it's really good to have that another card that set itself. That's why some people are just opting to run another Tails, running Woes. It's good to have these trap slash spell cards, and when you discard, they actually do something. So when you run like LZ with it, just break your opponent's board way too easily. Especially this one, you're gonna see why. I'm going to discard Molt Charming here so I could cycle, like I said. Get that Sylvie to my hand, then draw another card. Okay, that's perfect. We do triple tracking sounds. We're good. Oh, let's say we didn't draw it because we were gonna activate this one in the draw phase. Good Yu-Gi-Ohs, remember, right? So we're gonna get this Diabell Star. This is why I keep this Silvera in the trap card, by the way, in my deck. You're gonna see how crazy this is. And a lot of people were playing the OCG, and I didn't understand why Silvera was so good. And I'll explain its effect in a second. Until you play with it. This is why it's very important to play with these tech cards and just knowing. By the way, Woes is an incredible card. It's literally just a meta choice. Because Mitsurugi is quote unquote the best deck. Unquote. Or Rico, whatever. It's literally the best deck. So why play a card that doesn't do anything against the best deck? You understand? Like, you're gonna resolve Woes into Mitsurugi. It actually doesn't do anything. So yeah, this is your hand. Yeah, you resolve this and again to get this in your hand, and look at this. You're going to summon this Diabell Star, the Black Witch, pitching the Silvera. And why is this important? Because now this pays its cost, and this Diabell Star, the Black Witch, is going to want to search, right? So for all intensive purposes, my opponent wants to detonator my Diabell Star. Let's say he does, because I did say he was going to try to pop immediately. I can chain now this Silvera to negate that effect of popping, right? And in other situations, it would be really good, especially if against the Mitsurugi pop. So you can try to skip any of your opponent's interaction against your Diabell Star monsters. Let me double check. because the old card, it's Diabell Star. It's not Diabell. Not to get confused. It doesn't prevent White Forest Diaballs from resolving, but you can prevent your opponent from responding by banishing this to a Sinful Spoils or a Diabell Star monster. So let's say my opponent attempted to pop one while this Diabell Star is going to resolve. We're going to say no to it, and we'll be able to search. Now, remember, my opponent knows that this Deception is never going to search because he does have another pop, but we can have go ahead and take advantage of the situation that our opponent let us stay with the body, or we managed to save the body, and we're going to search this. The reason is we want to bait out as much of these detonator pops as possible before actually trying to resolve our shit. And I'm seeing here that since I kept this body, my opponent is going to be more and more threatened by these type of effects, right? Because usually when you summon this Sylvie and your board is empty, Tails isn't going to do anything. But since I kept this Diabell Star of the White Forest, Tails is a very good search here. You don't want to actually just get locked out of the engine as of right now. By the way, this is set. So we're going to normal summon this Sylvie. My opponent's going to try to pop it, because it's the synchro, right? And my opponent doesn't know I have an LZ in my hand. I do. Again, maybe it's not the best point of popping for the detonator, because it could pop any of these 3 cards. Maybe you could say this is as important, but we don't know if our opponent, we don't know is us as our opponent are running Feedsmith, for example, which will easily break this board if I go into Feedsmith. So even just popping this Sylvie isn't bad Yu-Gi-Oh for them. So let's search our Tails. We could fucking find it. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to try to activate this Tails. We already normal summoned. So yes. So this is one of the only I keep this happened to me last time I was playtesting. This isn't one of the only times Rusia goes like crazy, but I did cut out Rusia because it wasn't that going first. It was good breaking boards, but it's not good going first. You see how far I am into this board with this detonator product popping twice? That's what I want you guys to understand. And LZ is one of the craziest cards too, because I'm gonna try to activate this LZ by. I'm going to give the quick play here because it does not matter, and it's going to reset itself anyway. So I'm going to reset it. Let's not do that, because there might be a situation. I mean, it doesn't really matter, granted. Whatever. Let's just do it like that. I'm going to try to special summon a Zet. This is very important. When you try to activate this LZ, when this Rizal detonator is on the board, he does have the option to pop anything in your field. Not this, because this will summon itself on resolution. So this activates from hand. I pitch its cost. So my opponent is going to pop this because he's thinking, well, man, he doesn't have any more tuners. We're good. This is why I said Rusia is good, but we're still going to play through this. Watch this. This is a very weird situation, but you guys are going to see. Then this White Forest is going to resolve. We're going to search Astellar here. Azamina Alzet, sorry. Gonna search it into our hand, and we're going to play Tails right here. And Tails. This is just like really weird combos you can do. Yeah, we're going to go into our Astellar. Yes, perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Then we're going to try to want it for a card here, because it doesn't matter. And yeah, let's just do it to keep this in the deck. We're going to draw one card here. Okay, so this is a little bit of a weird scenario. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Because running us drawing this is a little bit bad. It's actually very bad. Because by the way, guys, I'm running Silhouette Rabbit because it actually fetches you a trap card from your deck when you're in this really, really good scenarios. By the way, this is only good against players that know how to play against White Forest. Like removing the level 4 tuners are really crazy in this against this deck. That's why I say like these cards that's why I say like cards like Rusia are still warranted to play sometimes. But anyways, let's just summon this outright because this is always just going to do enough. And it's going to cheat out Poplar anyways. Just going to overthink it. I'm trying to play with my hand, but it doesn't really matter because guys, this is the best card in your deck. Like you're going to see why is the best card in your deck. You guys actually don't need to read into this, but this combo is fucking insane. Just dumping the curse to get Philly Diabell. Get full combo here. Right. We're gonna banish Tease 2, special summon Vengeance. Then Vengeance is just gonna pop this detonator. Oh, by the way, this had this 3 materials detached, by the way. It's gonna pop the last detonator. And then we're gonna special summon Poplar. Then we can activate its effect so we can actually have some cards to put in the background. So we can pay cost. So we can just go Arciela here. This doesn't actually really matter, so we can go into... This is just if you want to end on your full combo, but your opponent is already dead from this. We could search... White Forest. It doesn't matter that too much because we could special summon this Azamina from our hand. Synchro here. And we can summon the Diabells. Getting Tails or either Azure back, we should just get this back because it's a really good card for the clapback. And then the Azamina were such our sinful White Force that we shuffle back into the back into our hands. So it's good that you have this in your hand again, because that means you can fusion summon into Saint Azamina and just over because we're not actually locked into our extra deck again. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, because you can just Chimera them. This is just killing them any other way. But yeah, if you give your clap back to your opponent, you have Azure Rain, Sinful Spoils, and Diabell Star pitch and pop, and still have the Vengeance in the board, protected with the White Witch. So let's do another hand, bro. Like the lines, I'm having a little bit of like mental gymnastics because I know sometimes some of the lines take a little bit of planning to do because you're going to think in the little bit between the combos like, okay, I lose to Valor here. Okay, I lose to Nibiru here. This is one of the advantages we have as White Forest players. Very little people know when to interrupt White Forest. So of course it's not the most popular deck like that, which we have to take it to our advantage because I don't think people understand that the correct spot to imperm. By the way, this is gonna give a sorry boys, this is for the content. This almost sounds like betrayal, by the way. It's almost like snitch, the equivalent of snitching in jail, but to the Yu-Gi-Oh boys. Sometimes the best spot to imperm your opponent is RCLA, and I'm going to explain why. Your opponent is going to try to full combo with White Forest, but they're always gonna try to search Diabell White Forest with the RCL effect. Or they're going to search Alzet White Forest to actually get into the Diabell White Forest. So yeah, okay, let's do this again. We're going to shuffle this back. Shuffle. Let's try this again. Diabell Star. Alzet. Again, we're going to dump this full Willows, cycle a card. Oh, this is one of the worst things. You can draw these 2 cards at once. And 1 Azamina. Yeah, that's fine. Usually, when you need the spot, when you draw both of these things, and you're going to, okay, when you have both of these cards in your hand, activating this card in draw phase isn't as important as you think. Even though this gets you the Diabell Star Vengeance out of your deck, it's not always going to resolve unless you have an imperm in your graveyard. It's not always the best choice of action. Even if you want to not get drolled, because you're already resolving this. But this eats a card. You don't want to make this Diabell Star eat another useful card, right? You might as well just pitch this instead of just pitching the Vengeance. Like, I don't know if that's making enough sense. You don't want to get that Diabell Star Vengeance out of your deck and risk this getting Ash, for example. So you might as well just pitch this one tip with this Diabell Star instead of getting that Vengeance in your deck, because that's your only other target. And I actually think that's what I'm going to do first. And that's very important because, again, this person A or fucking helmet player, Rizio player right here is gonna try to pop that Diabell Star and trigger to its effect setting. It's gonna pop it. Or we have one material, and we're going to set here. We have actually a lot of engine right now. That's very good. This is gonna show you how good running just engine is right now. Deception. We can go into the sinful spell. So our options here are pitching this Silvera and putting ourselves in a spot where we can actually special summon this along with LZ, but this LZ is always going to resolve for Rusia, so we're always switching the quick spell here. Yeah, because it's going to act as like double fodder for summoning. So we're gonna search the RCL here, because we do our end piece, and the reason I'm setting this, I don't want to act the way this deception might end up into the graveyard. If I search deception, is going to eat another one of my cards. So I just want to summon this to get into the graveyard to get a 1-turn draw, right? So I'm going to go LZ, pitching this as cost. My opponent doesn't have anything to pop, like I said the turn before, so we're gonna special summon this along and get Sylvie. Right? We have normal summoned yet. And this will set itself back. Right? So this is our board right now. So we're gonna special, like I said, bro, try not revealing as much as cards as you can from your hand to your opponent, cause your opponent doesn't know you have this tails in your hand, so you can resolve to keep on playing. So we're gonna go Sylvia of the White Forest here and try to get a field spell card. Field spell card always ends up in Diabell White Forest, which is what we want anyway. So opponent's gonna detonate her. Sorry, I fucking detest Sylvie. Come on, man. You're on my side. You detaching fucking detonator cost. This is gonna pop here, which again, that's really good Yu-Gi-Oh for him. And we're going to Tails here. Yeah, we're going to Tails here because we want to try to get a level 4 off. Dude, you guys, you have to know, Azamina Elzat has a hidden effect. By the way, he's gonna try to pop a card with detonator right now. He's gonna pop this, say he doesn't want us to play. He does not know how I have the Azamina in hand, so that's why he thinks I have Lucia and I'm not gonna be able to summon her. So why detonator popping is always fucking, even if you're a helmet player, even that's not the best optimal line. He can pop, it doesn't fucking matter. So we're gonna go. We're not gonna be able to go into our as a dark engine, so it doesn't matter. We're just gonna do this to search that bow. Into our hand. Then we're gonna activate Azamina's secret effect to special summon this from our hand. Send this cost. Special summon another Sylvie. That is already like super good. But this is the things I know on a lot of players need to see, because the order of the cards actually matters a lot. So we're gonna go Sylvie into White Forest into Arciela. We're already locked out with the extra deck, but it does not matter. We're gonna send the Sinful Spells to activate her effect. So this is our hand right now. So we're going to search here. And mind you, I took the Veiler out of my deck. Just so you guys know. Like, it's a good card. But actually, this Arciela cycling, just gonna back bling our stellar. I guess it doesn't really matter what you search. Let's say you search another White Forest just to pitch. The reason we're doing this is because our stellar is gonna come back for the bridge. Because usually you won't be able to do that. The only way is to like trigger this. Which you could have triggered with this anyways. It doesn't actually really matter. Because this way you can go into Diabell Star. I just like resolving this card first against hand traps, because you always want to leave this in your hand as your last interaction. And the reason why this is good is because you actually just manage to keep this in your hand, so you can fusion summon it in your hand. And this is already like Chimera line, because you can go like Sylvie here, revive Chimera. But yeah, this is just like gonna be what you're always gonna do, which is curse, send curse. I'm gonna send searching Philia. This is why it doesn't matter if you resolve White if you resolved White Witch, you always just keep this in your deck. Special summon this, and there you go. Shit, I did the same thing. I didn't detach the pop again. It almost feels like I'm negating my opponent's detonator, but yeah, the pop that detonator had didn't. I think I detached it. I don't even fucking remember. It was putting in my head that last detonator pop didn't actually matter. Guys, I won't forget again, because I'm acting like I'm the Rizo player and I'm drooling on my own keyboards. So let's try this again. 3 material detonator, bro. It almost feels like playing against Exodia. But one of the things that White Forest has is that you have to fucking think a lot. And I guess that in a big tournament is kind of a detriment. In locals, this isn't that much, but playing like 16 rounds of White Forest thinking just hurts your head, bro. It's not easy. Even when Snake Eyes was the best deck, I don't think the Snake Eyes combos were as convoluted as the White Forest combos can be. Let's try playing again. We have Wanted, Molcharmy, Deception, Four Willows, Perulia. This is why I like my. I think I'm running 47 cards. That's because I just maxed out on the Molcharmies, by the way. It's 48. That's because I was running 45 and I said, fuck it, let me stick the Molcharmies here. Because this doesn't fucking let your opponent play or breathe when you're going second. So we draw 3 cards here, because I did say we're going to cycle the Molcharmies. Oh, we can't actually cycle the third. Let's say we did 1 and 1. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be your 6 cards. It doesn't matter. We're going to activate this in our draw phase, because that actually matters in our draw phase now, because we do have Diabell Star. So this is why running Molcharmies in this deck does not feel bad at all, because you do have like infinite discard fodder here. This is where the Silvera actually goes nuts, because you're going to go White Witch to send this. Your opponent's gonna pop the. I'm actually gonna fucking count these correctly this time. Sorry if I fucking messed up pop on the first time. But dude, it really doesn't matter. Even if I didn't go full combo for the clapback, just know Diabell's Wise Witch always is OTK, especially if you run Doom Dragon, which I do. This is why I did opt to stay with Doom Dragon in my deck. Because I'm gonna set this so I can try to eat as much cards as I can from my opponent with this fucking Silvera. Okay, so my opponent popped here. This is a bit of maybe searching that silver as. I guess our hand is kind of wonky against Detonator alone. Yeah, this is the only plan of action. This is gonna resolve, which is fine. It doesn't matter. We can pitch this full. Realistically, White Witches wasn't gonna search any engine that was critically important because we did draw this, which is kind of a bummer. But anyways, gonna try to activate this deception from hand by pitching. Yes. There's nothing actually we can do. My opponent's gonna pop with Detonator, right? Then I'm gonna shuffle this deception back into the deck. Hopefully we draw into something decent. I mean, bro, we cycled into full more charming, so this might as well be a fucking kick-ass draw. Let's see what happens. So it's Vengeance, and I can't resolve that Vengeance. Let's see if I can think here. I can't fucking resolve that Vengeance. Guys, this is a loss against fucking 3 Material Detonator. Yeah, just drew a lot of copies of the Mold Charmage, which is fine. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going to activate Witch here. And it's gonna get popped by the last pop. So there we go. Thinking if the Diabell Star could have resolved anything, I think that's it. Like we played correctly. I think there's anything we can do. It's just drawing into 3 of these. We did as much as we could. Yeah, because this can't banish from field, can't it? Yeah. It's hand or graveyard. Yep. That's it. Yeah. The fucking draw was just not as intended, but it's good though. Even if your opponent, let's say, didn't want to pop the Diabell Star, it didn't fucking matter. It didn't fucking matter. He would have actually gone like way deeper. Pause. He would have gone way deeper into winning that game anyways. So let's try another hand here. Okay, shuffle. Let's go here. Tails, Deception, Depters, Foolish Burial Goods, and Diabells. This card is. I'm gonna play the combo just because this way I have a lot of guys have a lot of insight how the combo should be played. But sorry, I'm gonna activate Foolish Burial Goods, and that's just why these cards are just fucking crazy. Foolish Burial Goods and keeping cards like Imperm just are really good at breaking into your opponent's board. You know, Imperm is mid. I always fucking keep Imperm in my hand to break boards. It does not matter because that means I Imperm them and I already have a trap card to threaten Vengeance. I always just keep it in my hand. Because people are still gonna always go into the combo if you like resolve one Imperm. So we're going to Black Hole's Laughs, the Detonator, and that's it, man. We don't actually fucking need to do anything from there on. Just to see our opponent fucking suffer, we're gonna Tails the Diabell White Witch to send Curse. This is already OTK. I'm gonna show you. I said this was OTK in one of the past test matches or duels, but just so you can see, you're going to dump Curse with Diabell Star, search Diabell, activate Diabell, and we're gonna search Vengeance. Vengeance is gonna special summon itself by banishing these 2. Now, mind you, these have 300. You don't do that bump of 500 attack in your first turn because you're just gonna fucking lose against Typhoon, bro. You don't want that shit. This is gonna reset itself back. We don't even activate this. It's just so you guys see. This is one card. Oh wait, it's not if you don't have the Sylvie line because you need 2 materials to be able to summon the Doom Dragon. But it's still, if you don't want to go into the Vengeance Dragon, just know you can always do this. You can go Arceala here. I guess this is like very important for the guys who don't know. So you can pitch a card. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna do this even though that cutter search. So you guys know you have insight, and this will search Azamina. This Azamina will special summon itself, and this is why it's OTK, because you can go into Diabells here. By the way, this detonator's pop, but just so you guys know, because this is a combo line you do when you try to kill your opponent with 2 monsters. So you do it with 2 monsters. Because let's say you don't have anything else, you have no monsters in hand. So this is like really cute things you can do with these cards alone. So this is gonna grab tails back, not fucking important. As Amina, grab this into your hand. This is important because let's say this detonator did not die and you want to kill your opponent. You 3,000. Let's say you go 3,000. Wait, it's yeah. Actually, I think that doesn't. Hold on. Oh yeah, maybe you do need one more card, because look at this. I forgot Rizal Detonator was 3K. So even if you manage to sack the Diabells, with Sylvie, it's OTK. But this is like the cute things you can do. You can Symbol of the White Forest to do this like in the same battle fights. You can't go with Saint Azamina, but you can go into. Oh yeah, this kills. What am I talking about? Because this revives. Whoops. You can go crash. It doesn't matter what you crash. This is the girl who had 300. So you can crash detonator into this. Oh yeah, this is OTK. So that's 3,025, and you can Sinful here to go more Regina and more Regina's special summons. Special summons his Diabell start back, and that's 5. That's fucking a million damage. It doesn't matter. Yeah, guys, those are the things you need to do. That what I did right now, because I'm pretty sure you can't just fucking drool over yourself and say fucking vengeance ooga boonga. That's what Rizal players do. Don't do that. That's bad Yu-Gi-Oh. Remember that quick play scale. Fucking Sinful White Forest summons half your extra deck. You gotta keep that in mind, especially if you're running pure. Always remind yourself that quick play. I think people are just so brainwashed by woes, bro. I think people just gotten used to the fact that woes is always gonna be the safest play. Not safest play. It was like it was the best play to like break your opponent's board. Not break, but interact with your opponent, because the Book of Eclipse was just crazy last format. But it's not the craziest thing. Like you can just kill your opponent with so many other things. But just know that quick play summons half your extra deck. Especially Saint Azamina. Even this card, bro. Some people just know in the OCG, some of the players don't even run this because they understand if you're actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And you'll be able to summon this. Say you'll be able to summon this, you can always, bro, listen, always summon this. Unless you're like Chimeraing with 2 hand traps or some shit like that. But you'll always be able to summon this. So, but I still run both, by the way, because the problem is Chimera pops 2 cards. That's the whole thing. Like against Malice, Chimera goes crazy because they have to like search for cards in their closet, in their pockets, so they can actually summon. Because getting rid of one card against Malice sometimes isn't good enough. Getting rid of both cards or both bodies is crazy when going first, because they would have to go like double Bestial or Bestial plus the Malice special summons itself from the graveyard. They would have to like have a trap in their hand to activate preemptively, but you're always popping that trap before with the fucking playing against Malice and they set a card for fuck if they're trying to bluff. It doesn't matter. You're just basically popping a card from their hand. They're self-milling themselves, guys. They're trust me, all the spell and trap cards Malice is playing, they're good cards. Like, he's not gonna set like, even if he set an Imperm, bro, that Imperm could have fucking interacted with one of your monsters, right? That's what I'm trying to say. They're always gonna set good cards, so don't never take them as bluffs. They're always good cards. I fucking just learned that the hard way. Okay, let's do one more hand. This fucking video is turning into an hour. Dude, I'm so tilted because now I think people are fucking gonna mention that in the video. The detonator didn't detach first matches, which by the way doesn't matter. I was always gonna resolve. Diabellstar White Witch, except the hand where I just drew as, it doesn't matter. I drew like fucking the whole aquarium of Molcharmies, which by the way, if I Perolead, I'm doing one card as an example, which I'm drawing. Your opponent is Summon Detonator. I'm not doing that because I just want you to know how good this card is, breaking with a 6-card hand. But if I Perolead and Molcharmied my opponent, Perolead and Full as my opponent, and he summoned a Detonator, I'm drawing 3 cards, right? Because that's what I'm drawing. I'm drawing 3 cards. Minimum, right? So yeah, let's do the thing where we pitch this, draw a card. Let's say we impermed our opponent. We impermed him because he summoned Do or Drive or some shit like that. This is way easier because I drew into imperm, right? So this is good Yu-Gi-Oh's. Fucking drawing that out. But anyways, we're gonna want it here. I'm gonna play it out because I know you guys want to know how hands are supposed to be played out completely. So I'm gonna imperm this Detonator, right? I guess this doesn't matter too much. We're gonna Diabellstar. Always okay. These is your correct line of playing always. Diabellstar first, because unless this is your bridge to the White Forest cards and you actually need to resolve. But generally speaking, let's say you have Sylvie in hand, Diabellstar, LZ in your hand, you're always gonna want to summon which of the fours first, because this is going to get you your fodder for your LZ, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing. Pitch that draw for Deception. So at the very least, I'm going to flip Deception. Right, I'm going to flip Deception and try to pay cost, right? So unless my opponent has Ghost Over, which does not fucking exist this format, the Deception is going to stay here to pay LZ's cost. And I do not have Sylvie, but that would have meant that Sylvie is going to resolve. And if Sylvie doesn't resolve, I still have LZ last. Why in that order? Because LZ is going to sell you. What's the best card in your deck? This is like your class right now. I'm being your teacher. The best card you're going to resolve is Diabellstar White Forest. Put that in your brain. That card is your best point of the deck because that's actually going to end your opponent's, put your opponent's life points to 0. So we're going to Deception Hollowed here because, yeah, we're playing good Yu-Gi-Ohs. We're going to play not into Nibiru. So you can do the regular line here. I did another video how to play Intradroll. You guys have to like combine me doing these 10 cents and look what I do to play Intradroll. I cut out woes, which is one of the best points in your hands where you can like, okay, I'm going to play against draw, but I'm going to search woes. But still, that combo is for when you're going first, and I'm going second anyways. But I cut off woe because the quick play just almost does the same thing 9 times out of 10, or interacts the same. So we're gonna summon Azamir here, Murcielago, which is going to get us. Let's see what we're getting here. We're going to get this. Yeah, let's search it like that, because then we're going to try to activate LZ. Remember that Terraforming is going to, what did I say? Best card in your deck is Diabellstar. So you keep this hand in your, keep that Terraforming in your hand and let your opponent think he's cooking you, right? So you're going to search Sylvie, and I'm going to cook this guy. Valor, Ash, whatever, I don't give a fuck. This card is the card that has to resolve 100% of the times. Okay. Now we're going to, again, we're going to keep hand checking our opponent for hand traps. So I'm going to go, you can go SP here too, which mind you, SP is like a very good card here, but I always go Rabbit if I don't need to resolve SP, especially since I haven't entered battle phase. Because that Silhouette Rabbit is just going to go crazy, especially if my opponent doesn't have a board. Because he's going to actually need to summon something to kill me, right? The whole thing is, we're playing good Yu-Gi-Ohs, we're putting shit on the graveyard so we don't play bad Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So this is in our hand, right? So we shuffled the Azamina to get the Hollowed in our hand. And this is where we're going to fucking check again for our opponent's cards. We're gonna Sylvie. We do have White Forest in our hand, but we're gonna resolve Tails because you always resolve Tails first. That means your opponent is never gonna know you have the field in your hand because this is what you're doing always. Anyways, you're gonna White Forest for Azavina, and then you're already cooking here. Where's the Azamina? Oh, that. Now you're going to choose to special summon her. And you're going to go. You can't climb into the level 8 if you're playing like this, but this plays around more hand traps. Just so you guys know, you don't actually have to drool into Arceala every single time. Me playing like this just checks that much more hand traps, right? So we're going to Synchro here for Arceala. Right? Because remember, what's the card that always has to resolve first? Okay, there. We're just fucking gonna keep repeating it. We're going to pitch that as cost. We don't want to pitch another card as cost. And Arceala is going to summon or going to search. We don't want to search the field spell card, so I think we're gonna have to end up searching it as follow up, right? Listen again. The reason you're playing like this, you have to play like this, so you're any opponent in this line, your opponent is forced to hand trap you, just because they understand that if you summon the Diabell for against people who understand or play against this deck, they understand that card is the card that has to resolve, so they lose. So I guess it's fine. We're gonna have to search this. It doesn't matter. It's the best card to search anyways for follow up, even especially since we're not gonna able to summon Diabells, which yeah, I think you don't need to think about this much. The only reason I did it like that is so that Azamina searches the trap, which is really important because this way you have a clap back too. This is in our hand. We can hollow the Omni Negate. There we go. We already put it. This is what I wanted to do. I was checking my opponent for Libero, Veiler, Imperm, all the cards. Purge. This also plays against Purge. Say my opponent. This is why good players. Listen, I'm playing really against players who really know how to play against this deck because, like I said, they always try to play or interact with this card so you don't search your engine. So this resolves. This doesn't matter. We kept the White Forest, but we have an Omni Gate, so it doesn't matter. We're gonna search for the best card in our deck. There you go. Here's our graveyard, and then do a little combo. Search Vengeance, and that's it, bro. You've managed to full combo your fucking opponent. Bam, there you go. That's it. And you mind you still have follow up here. You still have Azure and Azurine, but it doesn't matter. This is gonna pop fucking Lone Detonator right here. Special summon Poplar, and then you don't actually want to equip anything here. I mean, we do have Doom Dragon. Let's just do it a flex. Let's just do it a fucking flex on my opponent. You can actually you can even make Chaos Angel here, which is really good. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Just so these fuckers, you see, you fucking flex on this dude. You're gonna Snake Eyes here, then you Doom Dragon here. So there you go, man. There you go. Like I said, bro, I really like one of the hands I drew in my last play testing that I was recording, but fucking I screwed up the orientation. Well, hopefully this guy gives you a lot of insight on how good. Dude, did I summon? Did I resolve Fiendsmith? Did I resolve Track? Did I resolve Engraver? Did I resolve Moon of the White Forest? No, literally no. You don't need that shit, bro. Like I'm telling you, you don't need Fiendsmith, bro. I mean, you guys are goated. You can go back in. By the way, this card is not bad in this deck. Full disclosure, A small fucking asterisk because that card is actually really good in this deck. But anyways, that's too spicy, man. I can't give you guys the sauce because there's like some weird blue eyes variant. It's not even blue eyes. You do run blue eyes, but for some other reasons, I'm not gonna give you the sauce. Anyways, yeah, guys, I hope you liked the tutorial, the video. Just know your deck can break into these boards. You just need to run hand traps. Dude, like you saw how my hands, I really ran or drew into the correct hand traps for good cards against the meta right now. Really, engraver spots are really good for hand trap spots. Foolish burial goods is crazy, and I didn't even draw that much, because it just gets rid of those problems on its entirety. And you guys understand that your deck is very equipped to deal with detonator. And cards are very strong cards against your opponent. And just take the advantage, guys, that really White Forest has so much bridges, has so much interactions, has so much ways you can play it, that your opponent really doesn't have a way to understand how do you hit you with interactions. Not only interactions, but with hand traps too. So it's like little things like summoning Diabolic Star and your opponent like forcing out the pop for detonator. You can talent stem or thrust, shit like that. Like take advantage of that thing. And if they don't, I'm gonna show you the extra deck because I guess that's really important. This doesn't go here. Right? I searched for Doom Dragon. That SP doesn't go here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. I kept the Chorozo because I'm just gonna show you the extra deck so you can see what I was working with while I was playing. I kept this because, dude, this is something that happened in tournaments. You go draw 4 hand traps and draw wanted. And guys, you need to play in other ND circumstance, so I just kept that there. Yeah, even OCG is doing it. OCG has OCG, and this is where I realized you have to play this card. Always use OCG as reference, even though you guys don't always. Even though it's not you guys, I'm fucking putting blame on you guys. Even though it's not always the same, or the best choice of action, but just look at a lot of what they're doing because they have one wanted and one Diabolic Star, bro, and they still run this pitch. That's how important this thing is. And I know a lot of people who play White Forest know that when they go in, they plus 10 here, they circle jerk pause again, in locals. But when you're in a high competitive environment, you can't lose to your own deck, bro. You know what I mean? That's like, it's like not running a second copy of Dual Drive. You know what I mean? For no reason. It's like, oh, 1 out of 10 times I lose because I don't Dual Drive. Then, bro, then you should really opt to playing cards that you do need in certain scenarios which are too cute. And that's what I ended up doing. I cut SP, and SP is not a bad card. Mind you, I did run SP. It's a really good card, and maybe you have to put it back again because a lot of people are playing Nibiru now, but a lot of people aren't playing Nibiru. So I just played with the information that a lot of people aren't playing Nibiru main deck right now. And with the fact that, like I said, some people don't know that the best plan of attack of this deck is Diabolic White Witch. That is basically protect the castle. So if you can resolve the card and summon Doom Dragon, you'll be fine. So anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. Again, thank you for the support. Shout out to the Yu-Gi-Ohs guys for being the fucking best. Shout out to the fucking Wyvern Busters and Collab Serpent for carrying this dumbass detonator. But again, guys, have a nice Memorial weekend. Love you guys, and peace.